Okay. Test. So this is a new microphone. Not mine. Well, of course, I'm trying it. I created a video 2 days ago. However, I wanted to post it actually in next 2 months. Then I tried to fix the microphone. Then I think this is the right setup. I've been creating few videos using different cameras, different microphone, and then I don't really want to spend so much money because also I don't have the extra money to spend on high-tech equipments. However, I think this is good enough. Right. Every time I want to start a video, I want to pose first for the thumbnail. But this is the problem. I cannot be serious. I never take things seriously when I'm in front of camera. That become a problem. And also, I want to be myself in my YouTube video because everybody else is taken. Hey, let's be serious now. I enjoy making video because I know one, I can practice my English, I can practice my speaking, I can improve my stammer, and also maybe some of my video can help other people. In my other channel, I made a video how I learned as someone with dyslexia, but because it is in Bahasa Indonesia or my native language, then I guess I have to create one for English language, which I hope this video going to help somebody else who is going to university or who try to help their children. I also have ADHD. So this is how I learned. The background, I was diagnosed with dyslexia in 2017 and last year 2023 I was diagnosed with ADHD. Well, I knew I have ADHD since I was 15. However, at that time I didn't have doctor diagnosis because the diagnosis was from the orphanage where I lived for 10 years from age 5 to 15. I didn't really care about it in past, but I guess because I get used to it. Point for this video is I'm trying to list how I learned as someone with dyslexia and ADHD. And this is the way I learn, not because I'm a doctor or I'm a psychologist. This is the system how I teach myself something over the years. And I know I'm good in something, even like, so I've been learning about creating video, for instance. And I could see every single video that I posted, it changed gradually. This is how I learn. I think that's better word to say it. Okay. The first thing is find the topic that I'm interested. When I learn something, I always choose what's the topic. For instance, at the moment I'm interested to Arduino. Arduino is a software and hardware and combined together. Also with electronic and microcontroller, which so much more interesting in comparison to aerodynamic. Why I decided to study aerospace engineering instead of other engineering, it was because I wanted to know about composite material. Usually composite material was used in space industry, and also because I wanted to know how jet engine blade were made. However, then I found out that I wasn't that good in memorizing words because I needed the degree. Then I thought, why don't I just stay in aerospace engineering? Because a lot of calculation, which I always interested with maths or numbers, but also during the exam, it is easier to memorize equations instead of long essay memorization. And it was easier for me to memorize graphs because I'm a visual learner. So that's why I always try to find something that I am interested. And it is actually helping me a lot because when I'm interested to something, I get so passionate. Like now, at this second, I'm interested in telling people how I learn. That's why I get so passionate. The second one is start small. So when you have a big topic, always create a smaller chunk. So always go to the smaller branch. So this chart, the main topic is urban air mobility, and then it goes to the smaller part. So a lot of branch around it. If I have a big problem, I always try to take the smaller part of the problem and then work from there. I always plan my study. It is not only my study, I plan for everything. For instance, if I go for a job interview and I have to drive 1 hour away from my house, then I will drive a few days before just to get the exact time. So, like, I always do the simulation. For instance, at the moment, I use Notion, or also in the past, I use Excel. If I click the PhD project, so every single one of these will be listed in this page. However, I can go to PhD timeline, and then I have every single timeline that I discuss with my supervisor, as well as the one that expected by the university. For instance, the efficient, it means I have to fill in a form online for the university, then I have to do it. So if it is in progress, then I will put in progress. And then if it is completed, then it will be complete. For the research database, is this for journal or books that I've read? And I've read 148, for instance. It's not every single thing, but that's the documents, or those are the journal or books that I found, and I'm planning to use it, or I'm using it as well. Okay, so if I click here, open, so every single line of the table, it has a small page. So let me show you to the full page. Okay, so for instance, this is the title of the journal, and then I have the author year, and then for the author year, it is actually the code that I use. So to identify a journal, then I will put the name of the author and then the year of the author, and TR is technical reports. If it is like journal or conference, then I will have different name, and then or books, then I will have different name, and then effects is the first word of it, or sometimes two if it is very similar. And then cited by is the number from Google Scholar on the day when I check the documents, and then the topic has different topic here. And then let's say, okay, cited by, so I know which one I want to cite. If it is less than what I expected, then I don't bother to cite the documents or the journal. So this is what I meant, like the tag is the TR here is technical report, and I have website, technical memorandum, thesis, presentation, etc. book, and also the status, not started, in progress, or done. And then the link in Mendeley here, this is actually goes to the normal Mendeley, and then whether it is relevant or not, if I don't use it as a reference, then I will put that. And then the summary is actually whatever summary that I'm reading, so I write it one by one. And then also the keywords, so these are the keywords that I use to identify documents. And also I have abstract, which abstract usually I copied from the internet when I found the documents, because that's the abstract. Sometimes they have the summary, then I will copy it. And I will put reading date. And then use section means the section that I'm using. So for the personal note, actually it's very important because I wrote them one by one. So I typed it by myself based on how I read it. If I close that, I can actually choose table or list. So the simpler view. Let's say another one is thesis glossary. So this is the glossary that I'm using in offer leaves, and I have to make sure that I listed them so I don't forget about it. This is nomenclature. This is all the variable that I'm using for my thesis, and I listed them. So it means next time when I want to use it, I will not reuse the same exact variable. So I know which one I'm using. Task administration. So I have all these tasks. And then this is all the conference that I want to go. And then what's the category? And then the conference date. It is started or not, or closed, completed. Notion is actually really good. And I can actually put the alert. So for instance, include them, remind. I can have the reminder as well, which is really, really handy. But everything is online, so I don't have any papers, and I always have to have an internet to access it. So that's the downside. So I created a bespoke planner. Every term, I will create a new one based on what's the module. Originally, I created the weekly planner template is from Excel, and then I move it to the PDF, and then from this PDF, and it pops in OneNote. It became this template. So this is the example for the term that I did before. So I only changed the module name and the module number. Then the days is Monday to Sunday. And then I added, or let's say if I have a meeting, then I will put a meeting. So this is another example. If I have a workshop to do, then I will put the workshop to do. If it is complete, then I will cross it. And then if it is not complete, then it's still there. And then also I have assignment priority. Sometimes I had multiple assignments. I would put priority, which one is the priority. So I put all the dates. So that's how I actually plan my study. I always try to create the bullet points instead of creating the long word. That's how I save time as well. And also, as a visual learner, which I'm good when I'm learning using drawing or looking at graphs. I usually memorize something based on what I see. Google Images is my friend. I also use colors, papers, and pens. So for instance, so have different color here, and then papers. I also use highlighter to highlight the words. And also, and I usually rewriting the notes. Earlier I said I like to only take the bullet points. It was because it was in the class. When the time of exam revisions or when I studied, I usually rewriting the notes. I know it takes a bit longer. That's why I always try to start early. If I have an exam, minimum is a week before, but I usually study 2 weeks in advance because I can memorize them. Because the longer I'm working in one thing, it stay with me. I use tablet and pen as well as OneNote, trying to show a few of the examples. So for instance, this is for my MSc helicopter blade airfoil structure ideas, because I know it would go to biomimicry, which part of animals anatomy that actually I'd like to learn. I chose flying fish, whale mouth and jaw, dragonfly wings, damselfly wings, bats, and honeycombs. For instance, I also draw flying fish wing fins, or my hand drawing using tablet and pen and in OneNote as well. It is usually involve colors and then different shapes. I'm a visual learner, so color is so much easier for me. I also try Wacom tablet. I still prefer just a smaller tablet. So my laptop is actually touchscreen. I also can use it as a tablet. I don't really like to write on my laptop because it's too big. It is too heavy. So I still prefer like smaller tablet. I don't even like Microsoft Surface Pro because it's too heavy to carry as a tablet. So I think it depends on what's the preference or how much budget that I can spend. Second point was start small. It is actually relevant with this next point that I'm going to say. So draw diagram to link the topics. When I mentioned earlier to always divide topics to the smaller chunk of topic. So instead of learning a big topic, I actually use diagram. So I use Coggle. So with the Coggle, it is actually very easy to use. If I have a journal that I have to read and I read really slow, then I use audio from the PDF reader. It helped me to memorize because I listen and then I also read it. It is actually helping me to memorize something faster. The new thing that I've done, but I didn't really do this in my master's degree or my undergraduate degree, is actually recording a video for memorization. Because that time when I didn't really have time to edit videos unless it was during the university break, creating something that I learned from my study and then record it on video. That's the way I memorize it. So if you look at my YouTube video, in this channel, most of them is just for me. So I usually record video of something that I like to learn. If it is not easy to remember, then I usually making video of it. I just enjoy making a video tutorial because I don't need to talk like this video. I just show a little video on the bottom, or even I don't need to show my face. That's what I really like about making tutorial video. But actually those video is for myself, not for other people. But if other people watch it and then finding it is helpful, then I'm happy about it because I can help other people. So it means I'm sharing knowledge that I learned. The last one is just don't compare yourself to other people. Well, again, everybody else is taken. So just be yourself and compare yourself with yourself yesterday. And also, if I compared myself with all of the other classmates in my class, every one of them studied aerospace engineering. It means like I'm comparing with other people who are way smarter than me. Well, I know that I'm not super smart, but I'm very hardworking. I graduated with A merit in my master's degree, and also I graduated with 2-1 in my undergrad. I studied in English, which is not my first language and not even my second language. So English is actually a foreign language for me. So I guess the hard working pays off. So I hope this video can help anyone with dyslexia or ADHD, or even if you don't have neurodivergent. This is how I learned, and I know it is effective, and built this myself for the last 7 years when I started university and until today. So hopefully it's actually useful. Anyway, speak to you next time. Bye. Anyway, bye, 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 bye.